Hello beautiful humans, and welcome back to Sparks the Conversation. I hope you're all well wherever you are in the world, and I hope some things have actually calmed down by the time you listen to this podcast, because the world, like I said in the last podcast, is pretty crazy right now. So today is an Instagram Q&A, so I put it over to you guys, and I got some good questions, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to be reading these off my phone, so if you are watching on YouTube, I'm not being rude, I am trying to read. It does take a lot of my concentration to be able to read, despite what you all think of me. So, first question, what are your plans for, where's the rest of the question gone? What are your plans for your next show? So, if you listen to the other podcasts, you will know that I'm planning on, if all things are going well, competing in 2023. So that's a year away, if you didn't know. I'd probably be starting my prep or my dieting phase now, around March time. So I've literally got a year of consistent training, consistent eating, and progressing things. Like, I was happy with my last showing. I was happy in the amount of time that I gave myself. I only really gave myself 9 weeks ish, where I decided right, I'm going to do this show. It was a busy show. I was up against an absolute beast who went on to win the whole thing. No doubt he had the best physique probably of any natural I've ever seen, especially in a novice category. So that was Lewis from Future Physiques. Fair play, mate, absolute class. Everything that went wrong in that prep was a result of me. I left it too late to start because I was it didn't even cross my mind, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. I was super stressed, super fatigued. I built up way too much fatigue and couldn't then dissipate that fatigue quickly enough for stage, and that's why I think I looked flat on stage. Didn't necessarily have that pop that I would have liked, that I did have up until kind of my last 3 weeks, because I think personally my best look was around 3 weeks out. But you live and you learn with these things, okay? And like I said, first prep, not bad. I placed, but now I've got to hang with kind of the big boys, depending on what federation I go with. With the UK DFBA, it is done on height, so I'm leaning slightly more towards that one, just because being 6'2", it's tough, man. And I'm quite heavy as well, so if I went BNBF, I would be with the heavyweights. And they are going to muller me, okay? And I do want to be a little bit more competitive this time around. And I think I would have been a little bit more competitive with kind of the second, personally, I do think I was second anyway. Dennis, even though you probably don't listen to this, mate, I think I had you, bro. But nonetheless, he'll probably laugh at that and give me a message if he hears that. I thought I had him. Maybe he was a bit crispier and a bit drier than me, but nonetheless, we learn. I want to bring a completely different package to 2023, and I want to just beat myself, be in a better place post-show. I know what the crack is now, and I've been there and I've done it, and I've got stage condition really. My glutes were like a walnut, could barely walk because I had no fat on my feet. I've done it, and I'm going to do it so much fucking better this time. Just to prove it to people. Prove it to those who possibly doubted me and stuff like that. I can fucking do it again. I'm gonna do it again. Right, I've just mate, what was that? A motivational speech from Mr. Alex the Rock Johnson over here. Right, 2 performance goals for this off season. Interesting. So performance goals originally were to get really strong on the squat and the deadlift again. Yes, that is still the goal, but I'm not conventionally deadlifting anymore, just because, I've spoken about before, doesn't necessarily align with what I need to bring up in terms of my physique. Once I'm done bodybuilding, so 2023, I'll probably stop bodybuilding, and I'm probably going to go towards more a hybrid style. I really enjoy kind of endurance training, and I think that the buzz I get from that, it's just a different feeling completely, and I actually feel like that's endorphins to me, whereas gym, it's just kind of crunching my soul all the time. But I love it, but it's crunching my soul. So 2023 will be my last competitive season, and I'm going to move over to more kind of just a bit of everything, enjoy stuff, smash my cardio and really nail it. Cycle races, maybe go on some velodrome stuff, I'm definitely going to do some time trials, because I'm going to still try and do those when I'm bulking this year. But yeah, performance goals. I would love to get a 220 stiff leg for 8. I think that would be fucking class, because I'm doing stiff legs now instead of conventionals, and I know I can get the best I've got is 235 for 7, I think, conventional last year. So if I could get close to that with a stiff leg, that'd be good. In terms of squat, I'm not sure. It's not going as well as I thought it would. I think it's because cardio's in at the moment as well. But if anything, like, I don't think I need to be worrying too much about my legs. If anything, they're the best part of my physique. So they can afford, in a way, to just hold and almost plateau. And I'm almost like warranting that a little bit, because other areas need to come up, like my back, my arms, my chest, basically my full upper body, my back, my lats, like everything. I've said that. So I'm always putting them on the back burner. At the moment, they're definitely on baseline volume, but still progressing, still kind of growing at the same time, and performance is still going up. So the two kind of metrics that I was thinking about, so squat and deadlift, they're still there. I'd love like a 200 squat, but again, like, I've got to remember, I am a physique development athlete. I am not a power lifter. I'm not someone who's just trying to move weight from A to B, because I'm sure I could rip. Like, if it's just A to B, I would do a conventional deadlift and I'd pull 250 for reps. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not that simple. I'm doing a movement to train the muscles that I want to develop. I'm not just doing a movement to shift it from A to B as quick as possible. I'm actually trying to achieve something in the process. So those are my performance goals. There's only two really. I'm not bench pressing, so it's not really going to give you a bench press, but I just love to be able to throw the 50s around again. In terms of pressing, and in terms of shoulders, like, again, they are on the back burner massively, because I do think my shoulders are quite a strong point. They're basically like 2 sets a week, overhead pressing, and then laterals, the volume's actually moderate, just to keep them ticking over, and I don't want them to kind of regress behind. So those are my performance goals. Okay, pretty boring. Yeah, those are my gym performance goals. I have some different ones, but right then, next question. Not bad so far. So, worst thing to happen to you in a gym? Oh, motherfucker. Right, worst thing to happen to me in the gym. Without a doubt, 100 kilograms falling on my face within lockdown, okay? So, lockdown 1, the proper one. So, it was summer, what was that, like 2019? 2019, so I was in the process of building a garage gym where I used to live. So before my kit came, so I bought a barbell when it came in bits, okay, so I got all my weight, got about 100 kilograms weights, barbell, and a bench. I hadn't got my rack yet, okay, so my rack was in the post, it was in the mail, someone was bringing it down from Scotland. So I decided, right, being the meathead that I am, I want to bench press, okay, I haven't bench pressed properly with decent weight for a while, so let's get involved, Alex, let's get dench, just like Judy. So I decided, right, this would be a good idea. I'll use the pallets that I got all of my weights on, and I shall use that as a rack. What could go wrong with that? So I put the pallets on their side like this. If you're not on YouTube, you won't know what I'm doing, but they're just on their side. They're not flat, they're on their side, okay. So I wheel the bench in between the rack. I load up the weight, I do some warm-ups. I'm feeling good, it's feeling all right, it's feeling stable, okay. So load up around 100 kilograms, okay. So I lie on the bench. I'm just about to unrack the weight. So I'm quite far under the barbell at this point. Matter of fact, my face is literally just in line here with the barbell. I've got the garage door open, and I've also got the door open that leads into the garden. There's like a sudden gust of wind, and this is the grim part. So if you are squeamish, kind of look away. So there's a sudden gust of wind. So these pallets that are on their side fall over. I laugh now, it was horrible, okay. So that 100 kilograms comes and lands on my chin. So it snaps my front teeth in half, and my teeth go through my chin here. So again, if you're not on YouTube, so if you're listening, like where you'd normally see where a bum chin is, so my teeth went straight through there, okay. I can't actually remember how I got the weight off, but all I can remember is, I sit up on the bench, the weight, the 100 kilograms is like 4 feet away from me, so I must have pushed it off, and I think to myself, oh shit, I've got away with that. And I actually say like, oh wow. Then I feel my teeth crumble in my mouth, okay? So this is where I'm starting to panic. So I spit my teeth into my hands, and then I notice the blood. So obviously there's a lot of blood, okay? So at this point, there is a hole, so a straight through hole from the inside of my mouth, just in front of my bottom teeth here, straight through my chin. So I've bitten straight through my chin. So I breathe in, and I breathe through my chin. So my mouth is shut, and I can breathe through my chin. So at this point, I'm panicking, okay? So I've got my teeth in my hand, I've got a hole in my chin, and now I look like a meth addict. So I go running into the house where I lived at the time, so I shout to kind of my partner at the time, and I say, rocks, rocks, as best I can, okay? Like, obviously, my mouth is ruined, so I can't speak very well. I'm in a lot of pain, but it's not really pain that's... It's not like pain when you hurt your finger, okay? It was actual... I was in such a state of shock. It felt like I was just almost been plugged into electricity. That's all I can explain it to. So I was firing on all cylinders, like trying to shout up the stairs. She comes down and she's like, oh shit. Like, what's gone wrong here? Like, you need to sit down, you're pale as anything. Give me your teeth. Like, I never thought anyone would ever say, like, give me your teeth, unless I was like 90. So then we get the ambulance out. Ambulance actually did fuck all. Like, it was just a bloke who came out. Sorry if anyone works in the ambulance service. So the guy from the ambulance service came out in one of those like doctor cars, but because it was COVID times, he couldn't actually take me to hospital. What was the point of you coming out, mate? All he did was say, yeah, you need to go to hospital. I was like, okay. So partner at the time whizzes me down there. Fair play to her. But then, this is the next part. It's COVID, so I have to go in on my own. And I can't speak because I've got no teeth. And I've got no functioning chin, okay? So I can't speak. So they're like, oh, hello, sir, what's wrong? I'm like, no, I ain't got any teeth and I smack my way. They're like, I can't understand you. And I was like, okay, but with all due respect, it is my fault, but it's not my fault. So it was actually a comedy of errors. Took ages to be seen. I was just sat in the waiting room, kind of bleeding from my mouth into one of those 6 bowls, looking like a full-blown weirdo. Like, no one sat next to me. Then, got to the triage, and she was like, why have you just been sat there? I was like, again, couldn't speak. She was very good, got me straight in. So then I had a junior doctor. Like, I love the NHS. I love the NHS, right? I don't like the NHS on COVID times. It was the middle of the pandemic. I understand. I was left in a corridor, bleeding down my chin, and then when the guy came to sew me up, he sewed me up in the corridor. In the corridor, okay? So people are walking past, looking at me, looking at my rank teeth, looking at my like bruised face, looking at my like mashed up chin, just gaping, literally. I was gaping because my mouth was open, I was absolutely ruined, but just gawping at me. I felt like an idiot. I definitely had concussion, but I passed all the concussion tests, so very strange. And then, they let me walk out with no medication. See, I'm quite an autistic person sometimes, so maybe I misread the situation. So he said, right then, you can go. So Alex over here thinks, right, you can go means you can go. And yeah, I did think, like, I'm in a lot of pain, and so far all you've given me is a paracetamol that I couldn't swallow because my mouth is broken, and you've injected my face in a corridor and then sewn me up in front of an audience that I'm never going to meet again. And now you're going to let me go without any medication. So I left without any medication. Obviously, girlfriend at the time went absolutely mental. Not at me, but just the system. Why have you left? So we left, and then I spent like 2 hours on the phone to 111 trying to get medication. And of course, they gave me proper medication that absolutely knocked me out. And then the ordeal with the dentist happened. So anyone who tried to get into the dentist during COVID times, not great, okay? Not a great time. And I went to an emergency dentist, and obviously my face was all sewn up, so I had 45 stitches on the inside of my mouth here, so to keep my lip together, and then 10 on the outside here. So I was actually lucky in that sense, like it didn't ruin my ugly face. Went to the emergency dentist because my roots were showing on my teeth, and that meant that obviously as anyone's had kind of sensitive teeth, there is nothing more sensitive than the roots of your teeth being exposed to the air that you breathe. And I can say that with pure confidence. So, I went in, and what they had to do was obviously go in my mouth. My lip was massive, okay? My lip was massive. So they say, this is gonna hurt, are you okay? And I said, yeah, hit me. It can't get any worse than what's gone on over the past few days. So they just peeled my lip down, which is what they have to do to get in my mouth. But obviously I've got 50 stitches in my mouth, and I'm in a lot of pain there. But me being me, just closed my eyes, grinned and bared it, because I'm a man. No, masculinity is a myth. I'm not allowed to say that because I'm a brave person. So yeah, that was the end of the ordeal. They put kind of caps on my teeth until I could see a private dentist who charged me an absolute fortune to get them fixed. A couple of grand. Thank you, mum and dad. Big up. There goes my inheritance. And now my teeth are fixed and you wouldn't even know. And now I've got to design a bum chin that some people pay a lot of money for. So I appreciate that actually took quite a while, but I thought it was a good story and some of you will not have known about it because you're new around here and the podcast land is a different world entirely. Right, one more question. And then I will go. Right. Oh, good question. How long do you think a dieting phase should be? Well, how long do you need to get to the position where you want to get? And again, this is something I speak about with clients all the time. Are we just doing a cut to kind of get a little bit leaner? Are we getting beach lean, or are we doing like a photo shoot, or are we doing a prep? Different levels to being lean take different approaches and different times. If dieting means, right, we're just dieting so that we can have a more successful off-season at the other side, 6 weeks. Anything below 6 weeks, get it done, get the weight off. But then anything longer than that, it becomes more of a diet and needs more periodization because calories can't just necessarily be shot because you'll fatigue too quickly and you'll drop off the face of the earth. So it's quite a strange question to ask. I would say for most lads my age and most of the people that I coach at the moment, they often need longer than they think because not many people can go all into a process, okay? So me, myself, I can go all in and I'll just stop doing anything that I enjoy, like going out, stuff like that, eating out. I'll just stop it for the purpose of what I'm trying to achieve. For most people, that's just not the case, and that's not able to be done because life happens, social occasions, partners, weddings, I don't want to say funerals, other things. So you need to be able to factor those in, and of course, high calorie days potentially means you've got a day either on the side where weight goes up, and it just potentially prolongs the process. And likewise with general population clients, they might need a diet break. They might need more frequent times of higher calories or slightly more lenient tracking so that they can manage it in the long term, and you've got to gauge that with the client. So without knowing you, mate, I don't know how long your dieting phase is going to be. And I can't even see your profile photo now because I've shut my phone, so I don't know how big you are, or chubby, or whatever you want to call it nowadays. I'm probably going to get censored for that. Brilliant, can't call people chubby anymore. I'm chubby. Look at these cheeks, man. Fat. Right. I'm going to go now because this Q&A has just descended into absolute chaos. But I've actually enjoyed it a little bit. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. As per usual, give us a like, give us a follow. If you're new around here, you can catch me on Alex Project Sparks on social media. That's Instagram, YouTube, all of the good stuff. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good life, and I'll see you in the next episode.